guys. So I just want to talk about a scene in Doom Patrol that just shows how good Fraser is as an actor, man. Because he's someone that I grew up with in I guess The Mummy, and I heard he was recently good in The Whale. Even though some people criticize that movie over, the overweight concept and the way how he betrays people being overweight. But to me, he it seems like he shows the struggles of what people go through when they're overweight. So to me, it's not really a bad thing. It's actually showing what overweight people go through, and showing like to others like how it must be basically. And I'm basically talking about this scene in Doom Patrol, like the latest episode 2 of season 4, where we just see some really emotional stuff from Brendan Fraser's character without actually showing his face, and that just shows how good of an actor he is, man. Just everything in this scene, man, it's just amazing. Yeah, just seeing him so broken, man. Because basically, a long time ago, he used to be like he was just a racing driver. He was human. He was kind of an asshole. He didn't care about his daughter. Yeah, he wasn't a good dad. And he finally gets to a point in the show where he's actually getting to, be with his daughter now, trying to make up for lost time. And the daughter kind of has like her own daughter at this point, and he basically wants to be there for her now. But since he's a machine, he's kind of limited to what he can do, and he starts having like some thing going on, like some disease that's affecting him because it's something that runs in the family that damages their brain and stuff, and gives him like a shaking feeling. Yeah, which you could see in that scene. And basically, let's just say one of his friends basically helps him gain like the feeling in one of his hands again, because since he's been a robot for so many years, he hasn't been able to feel anything. So when he finally gets a feeling in one of his hands, he basically wants the first touch to be with his granddaughter, but instead it's basically killing something, and just that just breaks him so much. And if you watch this scene, because I don't know if I was allowed to play the full scene with audio, because it's DC Warner Brothers, and you know how Warner Brothers is, so I'm not sure if I was allowed to play the whole scene. But if you just watch that scene, like Brendan Fraser's acting in that scene, oh my god, man, it shows how good of an actor he is. Like, you don't even have to see his face, and he can just make you feel so much emotion for what he's going through, especially if you've watched the show the whole way through. And then you get to this point and you're just like, damn. I mean, this show can be so weird, but then it can be so, emotional with what the characters go through, because, yeah. And that's why I probably stick with this show. Yeah. And I just feel like they can handle weird stuff while also making me still care about what's happening. Because if I told you what the threat in this show is, you might be turned off, but trust me, they still find a way to make you care about what's actually going on, even though it sounds so ridiculous if I even said it. Yeah. Because think of like what the boys did recently with some of the stuff that we saw, and it was just disgusting. And it just made me not want to watch the show anymore, where you get some weird stuff in this show, but then again, they still don't make it too weird where you just want to stop watching. Like, because you still really care about these characters. They don't turn you off with what's happening. Yeah, and only someone who's a really good writer can do that, and the way how he's wrote these characters too, like with Brendan Fraser's character, like, because you can't really see what he's feeling, but then with the way how he expresses it, like, it's just done so well. And man, Brendan Fraser, you're a legend. You're one of my favourite actors growing up, and you're just so good now, man. Oh my god, you're making some great stuff, man, with The Whale, and you're working Doom Patrol, man. You're the best, man. But yeah, just being so broken down that his first touch isn't with his granddaughter, it's basically killing something. Yeah, and it was for the greater good, but what did it cost? Yeah. Because he can't really take that back, because he feels like he's done the right thing, but then he's had to sacrifice something to basically protect that he cares about, and that's his granddaughter and his daughter. But it kind of cost him something really important to him. Like, just imagine you lost your hand many years ago, and you get to a point where you have like a prosthetic hand, and it basically gives you like the feeling of touch again in that hand. And the first thing you do is something so awful, and you can't take that back. And the way how you must feel after that, yeah. That's basically what Cliff's going through. Brendan Fraser's character. Yeah. And it's just such a good scene, man. This is probably one of the best acting scenes I've seen so far in a TV show this year. I mean, there's one I could cover with Game of Thrones, which is amazing, but yeah, I just want to review that first anyway. And I need to catch up my reviews with Doom Patrol too, because season 2, it was a bit off. Yeah. There's parts of it that I liked, but it was a bit off. Season 3 was a big improvement. Like, I definitely enjoyed it more. Some average episodes, but, you know, I love the cast, man. And then season 4 is already feeling way better, so yeah. Definitely recommend this show if you haven't watched it already. Guess I'll end it here. I'll see you in the next one. Peace, guys.